for faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. The Adventures of Superman. As the planet Krypton, home to a race of supermen, exploded into dust, the sole survivor was an infant boy shot to Earth in a huge rocket. Today that boy, grown to manhood, is known as Superman, sworn enemy of the forces of evil. To aid him in his never-ending fight for truth and justice, he masquerades as Clark Kent, crime reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. The secret is carefully guarded. No one is aware Kent is Superman. No one but you. Join with us now on ABC as Superman matches wits and strength with a strange and baffling foe in an exciting transcribed adventure called The Mystery of the Little Men. It is long after midnight. Lois Lane, star girl reporter for the Daily Planet, is asleep in her 12th floor apartment. All is silent, save for the soft ticking of the alarm clock on the nightstand beside her bed. Then, suddenly, without warning, the dark silence is broken by the eerie, high-pitched tinkle of strange laughter. Awakened, Lois sits bolt upright in her bed.
Who's there?
The only answer is the shrill, trilling laughter. Reaching out blindly in the darkness, Lois switches on the bed lamp. Her frightened eyes sweep the room and the horror-stricken scream wells up in her throat. But the panic tightens her vocal cords, making it soundless. Somehow, her hand gropes for and finds the telephone. Automatically, she lifts the receiver and dials a number. Hello?
Clark, this is Lois.
Who?
Lois Lane.
Lois, what happened to your voice?
Clark, would you come right over?
Over where?
My apartment. Where do you think?
What's the matter?
Must you ask interminable questions? Isn't it enough I called you at midnight? But I...
Easy. You're all excited.
Of course I'm excited. I'm frantic. Petrified.
What's happened?
Nothing has happened yet, but there are 3 ugly little men sitting on my windowsill, laughing at me. Please, Clark, believe me, I wasn't dreaming. I saw them. I heard them.
You're sure about that?
I'm positive they were sitting right there on my windowsill.
3 of them?
Yes, all dressed alike, in top hats and striped trousers and frock coats, and they carried little umbrellas.
Why the umbrella?
How should I know?
Now, how tall did you say they were?
About 12 inches, and their faces were just hideous, all shriveled up like old men.
What did you have for dinner last night, Lois?
I just had some Hey, are you trying to be funny?
No, not at all.
For the last time, it wasn't a nightmare, and I'm...
Okay.
Look, for the last time, it wasn't a dream, and it wasn't a nightmare, and furthermore...
Okay. Is this the windowsill where they were?
Yes.
And the window was open from the bottom the way it is now?
Yes.
How do you think they got up to the 12th floor? There's no fire escape.
Clark, be careful! Don't lean so far out the window.
I'm all right. Well, there's no sign of them now. I suggest you turn out the lights and go to sleep.
Oh, you do? Well, that's fine. But what if they come back?
Now, Lois, listen to me.
You know, I'd rather not listen to you because I know exactly what you're going to say. You think I'm a crazy, hysterical female.
Well, I'm only trying to...
You think I dreamed it, and I'm making it up, or heaven knows what.
Well, what would you like me to think?
Never mind. Thank you for coming over, Mr. Kent. Thank you, and good night.
Morning, Mr. Kent.
Good morning, Beanie.
I've been waiting for you to come in, Mr. Kent. I want to ask you something.
Well, let's go into my office. It's too noisy out here. Has Miss Lane come in yet?
I haven't seen her.
Good grief, it's hot in here. Open the window. You know, that's how people get colds. Sitting in hot, stuffy rooms. That's better. Thanks, Beanie. Now, what's on your mind?
Mr. Kent, do you know anything about dreams?
Dreams? Not much, I'm afraid. I know they're supposed to mean something.
Yeah, I read that someplace.
You worried about a dream, Beanie?
Well, kinda.
Well, if you dream Mr. White fired you, forget it. He fires all of his twice a week, regularly.
No. It's nothing like that.
All right. What is it?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I dreamed I was asleep, and then I woke up.
Yes?
And I saw something awful strange.
What, Beanie?
I saw 3 little men standing on my windowsill.
Say that again?
I saw 3 little men standing on my windowsill.
And this was last night, Beanie?
Yeah?
Were they dressed in high hats, striped trousers, and frock coats? And did they carry little umbrellas?
How do you know?
Did they laugh?
Yeah, a kind of crazy one. Golly, Mr. Kent.
Beanie, listen to me. I don't want you to breathe a word of this to anyone. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure, but...
Not a word, Beanie. Yes, Chief.
Come into my office, Kent.
Okay. I've got to go in and see Mr. White, Beanie. I'll talk to you later, but in the meantime, not a word.
Okay, Mr. Kent.
You heard me. Call the travel agency and check on those boat tickets.
Hello, Chief.
I don't care if you've called a dozen times. Call again.
Of all the stupid, numbskulled individuals that girl takes to cake.
But I called 3 times, Mr. White.
Great Caesar's ghost. You'd think the travel agency was doing us a favor.
Planning a trip?
I don't know what I'm planning, Kent. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Before very long, I may end up sitting in a booby hatch cutting out paper dolls.
Now what's happened?
Everything! Oh, I've got to get away.
Good idea.
I'm tired. I'm worn out. Every nerve in my body is frazzled. What I need is a good long sea voyage with no presses, no typewriters, no telephones, and no people.
Sure.
Oh, if I could arrange it, I would charter the Queen Mary and sail to Europe all by myself.
Anything special bring us on, Chief?
No, nothing. The advertisers screaming for reduced page rates, the unions screaming for higher wages, and then last night was the payoff.
What happened?
You'll never believe me. But last night, I took the first drink of whiskey I've had in 5 years. Ever since Doc Summers told me to lay off.
Oh?
I came home from work feeling like a wet dish rag, and I took a drink. Just one. And do you know what that one drink did to me?
What?
It gave me the heebie-jeebies. I took that one drink, had my dinner, and went up to my room thinking I'd read a little and then get a good night's sleep. And do you know what happened when I walked into my room?
No. What?
Now mind you, I only had one small drink, so I couldn't have been drunk.
Of course not.
In fact, I kind of debated with myself about taking another one. Anyway, take my word for it, I was stone cold sober. Well, at least I thought I was until I walked into that room.
You still haven't told me what happened, Chief.
Oh, haven't I?
No.
Well, maybe I ought to see a psychiatrist instead of taking a trip.
Chief, what happened?
Okay, that one drink gave me the heebie-jeebies. That's what.
How?
How? Listen to this. I walked into the room, turned on the light, and do you know what I saw?
What?
3 little old men standing on my windowsill. Now, don't you look at me like that, Kent. I'm not crazy. I know I didn't actually see them.
But you did.
Huh?
You did see them. They were about 12 inches tall, and they were dressed in top hats, striped trousers, and frock coats.
Great Caesar's ghost.
And they laughed at you. Shrill, high-pitched laughter.
Oh, Kent, please don't do things like that to me. I've got a bad heart.
Take it easy, Chief. Take it easy.
But how did you know what I saw?
Lois and Beanie saw the little men, too.
What?
Now, don't lose control. We've got to be sensible about this.
Sensible? How can you be sensible about something that doesn't make any sense?
Chief!
Get Lois in here. Get Beanie in here. I want to hear it from their own lips.
Chief, please, don't get excited.
Oh, who's excited? Get them in here, Kent. Don't stand there like a dummy. Get them in here.
Lois, Beanie, Chief, please. Now, wait a minute. Wait, just a minute. If you all talk at once, we're not going to get anywhere.
Well, where did you expect to get?
Now, there's got to be an answer for all this. When did you see the little men, Chief?
Oh, about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30.
And you, Beanie?
Gee, I don't know, Mr. Kent. I thought it was all a dream.
So did Mr. Kent last night.
All right, Lois, let's dispense with the sarcasm. You can't remember what time it was, Beanie?
Well, how can I remember when I didn't even think I was awake?
Stop asking him questions. I'm going nuts listening to his answers.
Oh, golly,
All right, Beanie, skip it. Most of the little men visited you between 8 or 8:30 when the Chief saw them and midnight when Lois saw them.
Well, that's an interesting assumption, Mr. Kent, but it doesn't hold water.
Why not?
Well, for the simple reason that you're assuming that there are only 3 little men and that those 3 made the rounds. Maybe there are 9 or 90 or 900. Maybe the earth is going to be overrun with them.
Gee whiz!
Well, that's just nonsense, Lois. If there were that many, we would have heard about it by now.
Well, maybe we will.
Lois, listen. Granted, the little men exist.
What do you mean, granted? There's no question about it.
Okay, there's no question about it. Somewhere in the city, there are 3 ugly little men about 12 inches tall who stand on people's windowsills and laugh.
Oh, it gives me the cold shivers.
The question is, where do they come from? And this is important. Why did they choose to visit you, Beanie, and the Chief out of 7 million people?
You tell us.
Well, on the face of it, you weren't chosen at random. You all work for the Daily Planet.
Clark, so do 400 other people.
I know.
Kent, what's the difference why they visited us? The big question is, who are they and where did they come from?
Could they be midgets?
At 12 inches tall.
How about pygmies? I read in a book.
Oh, when did you ever read a book?
Oh, here we go again.
Gosh.
Mr. White was just kidding, Beanie. Just skip it. Now, Clark,
What?
I don't know what you were going to propose or how you think this thing should be handled, but I'll tell you one thing. I, for one, will not spend another night in my apartment until I'm convinced those horrible little creatures aren't coming back. Why, I'd rather sleep in the park.
Lois, that's ridiculous.
It isn't ridiculous.
They can't possibly hurt you.
I'm not so sure.
If they're pygmies, they might have poison arrows.
Oh, will somebody please shut him up before I throttle him?
Okay, I won't say another word.
You put that in writing. I'll give you a $5 raise.
Gosh, you will?
Chief, Beanie, please. Now wait, listen to me, all of you. Obviously, we can't give this thing any publicity until we know more about it. But at the same time, we've got to be in a position to grab the little men if they appear again.
Oh no, don't look at me. I'm not grabbing anything.
Nobody's asking you to, Lois. What I'm getting at is that we'll have to post police guards around all your houses, and in order to do that, I'll have to tell Inspector Henderson what happened.
So what?
So I may have a hard time getting him to believe it.
Whether he believes it or not, if we want police protection, we are going to get it.
Chief, please, don't call him. I better go to police headquarters and talk to him personally.
Well, go ahead then. Don't waste time.
I better go with him.
Okay.
What about me?
You'll stay right here and do some work. What do you think this is, a charity institution?
Come on, Beanie, before you lose your job and your head.
Don't take him with you, Lois.
I won't.
Oh, and get back as soon as you can. I want to know what Henderson agrees to do. And he'd better do the right thing or there'll be trouble.
Inspector, Miss Lane and I are here to talk to you about a rather unusual problem.
Well now, Kent, unless this is important, I mean very important, I'd really rather like to skip it today.
Oh?
I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah, you do look like you've got a cold. Your eyes are all puffy.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I mean, I'm all right physically. I didn't get much sleep last night, but after all, I've had sleepless nights before.
Departmental problems, Bill?
No, this is more personal.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to...
No, now, don't get the wrong impression. Maybe personal was the wrong word for it.
You don't have to...
My wife hasn't left me or anything like that.
Explain or apologize, Inspector?
Oh, hang it all, that's the trouble. I want to tell somebody, but kind of afraid. Let's just forget it, huh? Suppose we handle your problem.
Okay, I'll give it to you as briefly as I can.
Good.
Last night, between the hours of 8 and 12, Miss Lane, Harry White, and Beanie, one of our copy boys, were visited by 3 little men about 12 inches tall.
Wait a minute, Ken. Were they dressed in top hats, striped trousers, and frock coats?
Yes. How did you know?
I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and they were standing on my windowsill.
We'll be back in a moment with part 2 of The Mystery of the Little Men. But first...
This is Anne, the prettiest girl in school and the liveliest cheerleader of them all. There's a big game today, and no one would rather be in Anne's shoes than her kid sister Pat. Well, Pat's day will come. Someday Pat too will be one of the prettiest, liveliest girls in school, if she builds up her strength, builds up energy, builds up strong bones and steady nerves the way Anne does. Anne starts her day with a hearty breakfast, including her favorite, Kellogg's Pep and the build-up wheat cereal. And Pat, too, is learning that Kellogg's Pep has more builder-upper vitamins than any other ready-to-eat wheat cereal. And say, with your favorite fruit, sugar, and milk, Kellogg's Pep sure is a treat to eat. Yes, these are the finest wheat flakes. Different, deliciously different from those you had before. And Pep is easy to serve, so really enjoy breakfast and keep going strong and growing strong day after day. Build your better breakfast around the build-up wheat cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
And now back to the adventures of Superman and part 2 of The Mystery of the Little Men. When Police Inspector Henderson announced that he too had been visited by the mysterious top-hatted little men, Clark Kent and Lois Lane were flabbergasted.
Are you sure you saw them, Inspector?
What do you mean, am I sure? They were standing on my windowsill, 3 of them, laughing like maniacs. I jumped out of bed and went for my gun, but before I could get to it, they were gone. And I didn't sleep a wink for the rest of the night.
Well, Clark?
Well, what?
Well, that throws your theory into a top hat.
Theory?
Well, up until now, it was only Daily Planet people who had the honor of being visited by those hideous little creatures. But now they've added the police chief. When is it going to stop?
Well, what are they, Kent?
Well, they're little men. That's what they are.
Be sensible, Lois.
Of all the unmitigated nerve, be sensible. Did you see them?
Well, no, but...
But I did, and Inspector Henderson did. What did they look like to you, Inspector?
Little men.
Well, why don't you admit it, Clark?
Because men don't grow 12 inches tall, that's why.
So far as you know, which isn't very far.
Oh, ring, ring, ring.
Now, Kent, excuse me. Henderson speaking.
The police can't stop it. They can't stop it.
What is it?
You fool! The little men are in Kent's office right now.
Who is this?
Perry White, you idiot! Where's Kent? This office now!
Okay, we'll be right over.
Now just take it easy, Beanie. Slow and easy. How did you happen to go into my office?
I was going to leave some letters on your desk.
All right, so you opened the door and walked in.
That's right. I didn't see nothing at first on account of, I guess I wasn't looking.
Well, that's illogical.
Please, Chief. Now go on, Beanie.
Well, all of a sudden, I heard that crazy laugh, and I saw them standing on your windowsill. Remember this morning you asked me to open the window?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's where they were standing, right over there.
What'd you do?
What did he do? He caused a riot. I've never heard such screeching in all my born days.
Well, golly, what did you want me to do?
Did you see them clearly, Beanie? What did they look like?
Like little men.
Why wasn't I here? Why?
How soon after Mr. White called police headquarters did they leave?
Who knows? Instead of closing the window, this young genius here closed the door.
Gee whiz.
It's all right, Beanie. I wouldn't have gone near them either.
Well, Henderson, what do you propose we do about it?
I don't know, Mr. White.
Well, if you don't know, who does? We pay taxes to be protected against things like this.
Well, the police department doesn't have enough appropriated for rounding up little men.
Now, that's not funny. If you can't handle it, I'll find someone who will.
Chief, with all this bickering adds up to nothing. Now that they've tried to pay me a visit, I'm convinced there is a pattern. It can't be accidental that 4 of us from the Daily Planet were targeted.
But what about the inspector?
Well, he's part of the pattern.
What pattern?
That's the problem. Once we know the pattern, once we know why we, of all people, were chosen, we're on our way to a solution.
And in the meantime, I suppose, those creatures are going to be scaring the life out of us.
Oh no, you don't have to worry about that. I'll give you all police protection.
No, you won't give me anything. I'm getting on a boat for Timbuktu before I go crazy. One week it's a mechanical monster. The next week it's little men. The week after that, it's heaven only knows. This isn't a newspaper anymore. It's a nut house. Ring, ring, ring. I'm not in for anyone.
It may not even be for you. Hello?
Hello, is Clark Kent there?
Oh, just a minute. Clark?
Hiya, Kent, you old lug.
Who is this?
Hey, who is it? You sure forget your friends fast. Trouble is, you hang around with Superman too much. Everybody else is all pale.
Who is this?
Candy Myers, you lug.
Candy? It's Candy Myers.
Candy?
Candy, how are you? We haven't seen or heard from you in a year. Where have you been?
Scooting around. You got a few minutes to chew the fat?
On the phone?
Oh, no. I'm just a couple of blocks away. All right if I drop over?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, be seeing ya.
How about that? Candy Myers. You remember him, Inspector?
Remember him? How could I forget him?
Maybe Candy can help us solve this mystery?
Maybe you got something there, Beanie.
Well, he is the best private eye in the country. Talk to him about it, Kent.
Sure, I will.
Well, I'm going to get back to headquarters. Call me and let me know what you decide to do.
Okay, Inspector.
And I'll be in my office if you need me.
Right, Chief.
When is Candy coming up, Clark?
In a few minutes, he said.
I'll bring him right up when he gets here.
Thanks, Beanie. Close the door, will you?
Well, where did Candy say he's been keeping himself?
He didn't say. But you know something, Lois?
What?
I think I've got the solution to the mystery of the little men.
Well, you're looking younger and prettier than ever, Miss Lane.
Oh, now, Candy, you say that to everybody.
And say, you haven't aged a day, Kent. How do you do it?
It's the calm, easy newspaper life.
Yeah, sure it is. Mechanical monsters and little men.
Huh?
Well, we have a problem, Candy. Just a little problem. Maybe you can give us a hand.
Wait a minute. Did you say something about little men?
Oh yes, Candy. They've been plaguing us.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it?
Start from the beginning, Lois.
No, wait. This is a little crazy.
You don't know how crazy.
No, I mean me walking in here and you telling me about little men. Well, it's one of those, mad things.
I don't understand, Candy.
Well, I got into town last night and checked into the Metropolis Hotel. I went down to the bar and tossed off a couple of slugs. And then I turned in. At about 1 a.m., something woke me up.
Oh no, Candy. No.
3 little men were standing on my windowsill laughing at me.
Police headquarters.
Inspector Henderson, please. This is Clark Kent.
White velvet, please.
Henderson speaking.
Clark Kent, Inspector.
Oh, anything new?
Yes, we're all going to meet at Perry White's house tonight.
What floor?
Well, we've decided to get all those who've seen the little men together in one location. Can you make it, Inspector?
What time?
Oh, about 9 or 10. Candy Myers is coming along. Incidentally, he saw the little men last night, too.
Hey, what?
I'll tell you about it when I see you.
Okay, I'll be there. Oh, and Kent,
Yes?
I better bring along some of the boys with me, don't you think?
No, just come alone.
What? That doesn't make sense.
It will. I promise you.
Well, this is a great way to spend New Year's Eve. All huddled in a half-dark room, waiting for little men to crawl through an open window.
You've got to admit, it's exciting.
Not for me, it isn't.
Say, Kent,
Yes, Inspector.
I thought you said Candy Myers was going to be here.
I told Lois and me he'd be here.
This is all his idea. You'd better show up.
Well, if he... What's that?
Oh, relax. It's just Mr. White snoring. Wake him up, Beanie.
Not me. To bite my head off.
Chief, wake up. Chief.
Where are they?
They aren't here yet. You fell asleep.
You're crazy. I was wide awake every minute.
You snore like that when you're awake. I'd hate to hear you when you sleep.
And what are you laughing at?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Chief, keep your voice down. Let's not scare them off.
Scare what off? Clark, with each passing minute, I become more and more convinced this is just a dopey idea.
I second that.
And I third it. I'm going to bed.
Chief, something's bound to break soon.
The only thing that's going to break around here is dawn, and I'm not waiting up for it.
Just a little while longer, please.
Clark, back in the office, you told me you thought you knew the solution to the mystery of the little men.
I think I do.
Well, great Caesar's ghost, let's have it. Why are we sitting here like mummies?
Chief, your voice.
Hang my voice. If you know what this is all about, and I don't believe you do, let's have it.
If you just be patient, I'm hoping to demonstrate the solution to you.
You can demonstrate it after you show us what you're thinking.
Hold it. Quiet.
What's up, Kenty?
They're coming.
The little men?
Yes.
Gee whiz.
Quiet, Beanie.
Do you hear that?
They're laughing.
I don't see anything on the windowsill.
Wait.
There they are.
Great Caesar's ghost.
Now do you believe us, Clark? Just look at them.
Now I don't have to believe anything. Sit tight, everyone. I'll be right back.
Wait a minute. Where are you going, Kent?
I'll be back in a minute.
Slipping out of the half-darkened living room, Clark Kent heads for the front door. Before he opens it, he quickly makes the transformation from mild-mannered crime reporter to the red and blue costumed figure of Superman. Then, opening the door quietly, he steps out into the darkness. In a timeless moment, his keen eyes spot a human figure crouched behind a bush near the open window where the fantastically garbed little men are laughing insanely. Flexing his powerful muscles, Superman leaps, and like an arrow shot from a bow, flashes across the lawn and lands on the figure. Hey! Cut it out! Let go of me!
Sorry, sonny boy. The party's over. All right, Candy. Give out.
Candy, I don't believe it. You weren't responsible for all this. You couldn't have been.
Well, I must confess, it was all my brilliant idea.
Brilliant?
Why? Oh, just a gag.
A gag? That's what you call a gag?
Seemed like a gag at the time, Inspector. What I was trying to do was set up a mystery that none of you could solve in a million years.
But what about the little men? Where are they? And what are they?
Oh, they're out there on the lawn somewhere. I'll have to round them up.
But what are they?
Miniature marmosets. A kind of monkey. I brought them back with me from Brazil.
Why, you ought to be horsewhipped for this.
I've got a good mind to throw you in the can, Myers.
Any other compliments?
That's all right, Candy. You had us puzzled for a while, but it wasn't too bad.
Thanks, Kent. Now maybe you'll answer a question from me.
Well, I'll try.
How did Superman get in on this?
That, Candy, is a mystery you'll never solve in a million years.
And so ends the mystery of the little men on The Adventures of Superman, which comes to you each year in Superman Celebrations. Listen again next year as Superman tangles with an unseen menace. Superman is a copyrighted transcribed feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and brings you radio's most fabulous character in thrilling stories.